When something of importance happens in brigade, one of the biggest problems is who to tell, in what order and how. So often within a very short time of one person being given some information, emails start flying and phones start ringing. Over the past couple of years, we have really brought the JLGB into the 21st century by improving our communications through technology. And so I decided, rather than call a meeting where I would be lucky if 50% of our leaders could attend, I would use a video link to speak to you all, hopefully at more or less the same time. One of our continuing problems is a lack of leaders. Those we have are outstanding, and I am hugely grateful for everything you do. But the reality is that we all lead busy and demanding lives, which often mean that the heart is willing, but time and circumstances just do not allow the brigade to take over our lives. For the past 2 years, I have been looking at how we can improve and grow without asking all of you who already do so much to give more of yourselves. Change. In today's world, all one seems to hear is talk about change. Change brings fear amongst many as it takes them out of their comfort zone and into uncharted territory. But similarly, standing still or becoming complacent often means that we may not achieve our full potential. The truth is that today's JLGB has tremendous possibilities. It is more vibrant, more needed and more relevant today than ever before. I am now nearly halfway through my 10th year as Commandant, and during my time at the head of this amazing organisation, I hope I have developed a sense of what is working well, what could be improved, and what does not work at all. We need to decide what is tradition and what is just simply nostalgia, what is still very much relevant and what may be holding us back. Before I tell you about the planned changes, rest assured the sash and the crossbelt are here to stay. We are a truly national organisation, reaching out to far more Jewish communities than any other Jewish youth organisation. It is this national network that creates the brigade family and acts as a vital lifeline for so many people in the smaller Jewish towns and communities, as well as for children who do not attend Jewish schools. The time has come to recognise that simply dividing the JLGB into two, the London Regiment and the Provincial Regiment, is not the most effective way of helping to grow and support our local members and leaders across the JLGB. As from the 1st of August this year, the Provincial and London Regiments will be disbanded and will be replaced by 8 local regions, or as we will call them, battalions. You can see from the diagram on screen how these 8 battalions divide the brigade into a much more manageable structure that will allow us to focus our support to the needs of local units and communities far quicker and with more targeted efficiency. Each battalion will have a battalion commander, a BSM, an administrator, and a senior sergeant. Each battalion, while adhering to national aims and objectives, will have targets specific to its own particular needs. By empowering local leaders, we hope that the work that you will put in will be much more effective than it has before. The battalion commanders will report to me through the Chief Staff Officer, and the BSMs will report to one National Senior Warrant Officer who will be called the RSM. There is much work to be done and appointments will be made over the next few months, with a list of names and positions being announced in July. By August, we are hoping to remove the vast majority of the administration burden placed on your shoulders and that has built up and increased over the years. Modern technology allows us to communicate and share data in ways that simply weren't possible before. New systems will allow company administration, membership fees, programming and training records, as well as weekly numbers updates to be completed online. This new structure has also been devised to allow the National Open College Network accredited leadership training, which was piloted this year, together with a new program scheme which is being launched in September, to be easily integrated, making the JLGB a much more joined up organisation. In due course, we will also be reviewing the Challenge Award for Jewish Youth to inject new excitement into the juniors programme. This integrated approach will allow the Brigade to achieve the following objectives: increase numbers, retain current members, support our leaders and increase our leaders' morale, recruit new leaders and bring back adult leaders, streamline the organisation to give increased efficiency. Along with the new structure, I would also like to implement a yes culture into Brigade. This means that wherever possible, the answer to any request will be yes. I can already hear you all making outrageous suggestions, but you all know what I'm trying to get across. Each one of you needs to take responsibility for this new initiative. Sometimes we have not been flexible enough. Often we have been unprepared to bend the rules, and this has been to the detriment of our members and often you, our leaders. What does it matter if Fred Smith, I think I'm safe in assuming we actually do not have anyone in Brigade with that name, wants to change his room or tent at a camp to be with his friends, and we say no because it might spoil our check-in sheet? Much better that Fred goes home having had a wonderful time. Wherever possible, I want you to find a way to make everyone, members and leaders, feel good about themselves and feel good about the organisation. And this can be partly achieved by adhering to a yes culture. I want to end by thanking two people in particular: Richard Kirsch and Howard Harris, the London and Provincial Regimental Commanders. They have worked in these roles tirelessly for 4 years. It is their tremendous work and effort that has actually allowed the JLGB to move forward and to implement this new structure, underpinned by the foundations they have both laid. I hope they will both continue with the Brigade, for they have a huge amount that they can contribute under our new structure. Finally, once again, thank you to everyone for all that you do for the benefit of the JLGB. I simply cannot thank you enough. I am sure this announcement will have left many of you with unanswered questions and even more comments, both of which I would welcome. Please email any questions or comments to the Brigade Headquarters, and I will endeavour to respond at the latest within 2 weeks. Let us now all work together and head in the same direction to make the JLGB stronger and larger and easier and more enjoyable and even more meaningful for all ranks. And let us say yes.